Book 2 Section 20. Gore on Zippy's road movie preparations. The rest of the sojourn in Alicante was predictable fare. Benny slid swiftly through the air stewardesses, whether that term is antiquated or not pales into insignificance when they all fall under the cheese-based spell of urban ejection. It is now time to make the big move to Malaga. For this journey there were two options: stay on for a while here with Benny and take a plane, an option which will end in our continued and extended bickering, which would mean we were effectively alone, and I don't care much for solo traveling. The other option was to travel by car with Zippy and Gore. Somehow Zippy had managed to get hold of a Buick 1954 convertible with an electric blue paint job. The paint only really covered the rust. The car looked good from afar but had all the amenities that you would expect of a car that had survived half a century of motoring: stiff steering, no aircon, noisy engine and springs coming through the back seat. The reason this vehicle was considered worth 3,000 of the current in vogue European currency unit was that Gore and Zippy had apparently harbored a dream for many years of making a road movie. Gore had acquired a Super 8 camera and put together an itinerary and something of a script. This on its own sounded like a ghastly way to spend 3 days, but the low point of the idea was that we were to go in character, Gore as Lou Reed, Zippy as Alain Delon and myself, should I go, as Francis Albert Sinatra. Going in character did not mean just trying to look like the person that we were going as. In fact, that was not the idea at all. Looking and sounding like the characters was not the true ideal of the mission, rather to exude the essence of the characters being portrayed. I, neither, have any idea what that means. I have, though, been invited on the trip on the understanding that any failure to participate at an acceptable level will be punished and I will be left behind. We weren't leaving for another 2 hours, so I decided to get some provisions and pick up the suit that Gore had set aside for me. I would have to learn how to be Frank Sinatra in the next 2 hours. I do not doubt the capacity of those two to leave me dumped on the motorway somewhere for failing to be old Blue Eyes. I was not sure what they expected from me or even how to do it. There is no way I could raise the same enthusiasm for the journey. The only motivation I had was to avoid spending time with Benny. With that in mind, I would try to be as good a Frank as possible, though feared I would be admonished by Lou and Alain. To make things worse, they had constructed a penalty system whereby I would receive financial and physical punishments should my performance not be up to scratch. Maybe I should have gone to Madrid on my own, look at a few nice paintings, and maybe taking a gain at the Calderon. Obviously, as a decent human being, there is no way I would set foot in the Bernabeu, too much like voting Tory. The truth is that I didn't much like traveling solo, so I decided to grit my teeth and ride along in the back seat of the Buick. Hopefully, the noisy engine would mean I would miss out on their ever so pertinent points on the future of humanity. I returned to the hotel and put my suit on. Gore has had his hair cut short and dyed jet black. His all-black outfit, reminiscent of the front cover of Transformer, certainly has an air of Lou Reed, though his facial structure would not get him past the early stages of Stars in Your Eyes. He would never say the phrase "Tonight, Matthew, I will be Lou Reed." I consider all this before seeing Zippy's attempt at being Alain Delon. The only point of reference he had was trying to remember the inner gatefold sleeve of the Smiths' "The Queen is Dead." I asked him why he didn't Google the lad, and he confessed to that being a good idea. Zippy indicated that the essence of the person was of far more importance for this trip than the accuracy of the attire. I am beginning to have more than serious reservations about this trip. This meant I looked like Frank, but wasn't Sinatra to their standards. Gore checked the camera, and we were ready to go. What happens in the following pages I can neither justify nor explain. B. The road movie. Fade in. Exterior, Hotel Spa Portomaris, Alicante. Afternoon. Camera follows 3 characters as they walk in slow motion towards a blue, convertible 1954 Buick. All 3 are smoking, and extinguish their cigarettes before entering the vehicle. Music starts. Fierce kettle drums with screeching brass suggest the heroes are on screen. Cut to interior, Buick. Camera focuses on Lou Reed, taking a cigarette from a packet and taps it on the dashboard. He puts the cigarette in his mouth and asks Alain Delon, driving, a question. Lou Reed. The road to Sergio Leone world is this. When we arrive in Almeria, we will see the world of one of the greatest directors in history. We are headed for Tabernas, in the desert of Almeria. Camera shifts to Alain Delon, nodding. Delon and Reed begin an interchange of questions. The question is filmed off camera. The person who is going to respond to the question is focused on, and then the focus changes with the next question. Alain Delon. To what extent has American alternative rock been affected by the Western? Lou Reed. Inevitably, the relationship is a close one, the inability towards the realization of both dreams. French cinema seems to have followed a similar path. Maybe you would agree. Alain Delon. I think every aspect has taken a similar path. We soon shall see just how much when we arrive. Frank Sinatra off camera. Are we going to converse in this nonsensical manner for the entire journey? If so, I will. Have a snooze. Camera shifts to Lou Reed turning around to face Frank Sinatra. Visibly angered by his outburst, Reed threatens him with a pointing finger and makes it clear that the first of probably many punishments is about to fall on Sinatra. Lou Reed. This is our fucking film. You are an extra and can be axed at any moment. At the first stop you will stay in the car and miss coffee. I hope we understand each other. Camera shifts to outside. We see Sinatra through the glass who out of eye shot of the other two shakes his head and mouths, Jesus fucking wept. Camera uses a wide shot of the A7 motorway which links Alicante with Almeria. We see the car drive past with dust coming up from the tires. Cut to exterior, service station, outskirts, liquor, Mercer establishing shot of building, late afternoon. We see various builders entering and leaving the building. Cut to interior, service station. Reed and Delon sit at the counter. Both are smoking and drinking strong coffee. Reed runs a finger over the rim of the cup and looks about to speak. Waitress lurks in background, occasionally serving the few customers in there. Lou Reed. Shame there is not a writer in our party with the literary nature of the town where we find ourselves. Alain Delon. I hear he was an able guitarist as well. Like yourself. Lou Reed. Kind words. Have you ever had the pleasure of interpreting his work? Alain Delon. To be honest, I don't really care much for his work. Repressed homosexuality on every page. Lou Reed. Maybe that repression corresponded to the native Andalusia in which he lived rather than an affirmation of his own desires. Alain Delon. A well-made point. One that should be pondered with another coffee. Raise the glass to Irma. Lou Reed. He was from Granada anyway. He turns to the waitress and asks, how far to Sergio Leone World? Waitress. Just over an hour, I guess. It's not actually called Sergio Leone World, you know. Alain Delon. In our world, it is. Cut to exterior, service station. Camera close up on front windscreen of Buick. Sinatra sits between the two front seats. We hear the door of the cafeteria open off camera and he speaks. Frank Sinatra. What on earth have I got myself into? The car doors open and Reed and Delon get in. Delon flicks his butt end out of the window as they dramatically allow the roof to slide back. Reed turns to Delon and says. Cut to interior, Buick. Lou Reed. We have a date with the Wild West. Let's see Sergio. Cut to exterior, service station. Camera at hubcap level is covered in dust as the wheels spin and the car drives off out of shot. Exterior, a 349 road. Late afternoon. Camera shows the Buick coming towards us and coming swiftly to a halt. Reed and Delon exit the vehicle and look down the road. Cut to same location from behind Reed and Delon. We see Mini Hollywood theme park, tabernas, Almeria. Music from before appears again and both extinguish their cigarettes. Cut to camera focuses on boot of Delon, cowboy style as he steps on the butt end. Alain Delon. I guess the West will be that way. They re-enter the car and drive towards Mini Hollywood. Cut to interior, typical Wild West bar. Mini Hollywood. All three sit at the bar and drink neat whiskey. In the background we can hear the sound of fists flying and occasionally camera captures a person being thoroughly whacked for the benefit of the drinkers. All three are in pensive mood after what can only be described as a disappointing visit. Cue video montage, music Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi, interspersed with images of all three traipsing round the park looking bored. Climax with Wild West style shootout as all three fall to the ground. Alain Delon. A cowboy is the only noble profession left these days. Lou Reed. Maybe it was the only noble profession ever. Alain Delon. When the last cowboy dies, that will be the end. Lou Reed. Maybe we are already at the end and we don't know it. Alain Delon. We will know when we are at the end. Sinatra continually looks like he is going to participate in the conversation, but never actually says anything. He gestures to the barmaid who brings more whiskey. Enter barmaid. Barmaid cowboys never die. Lou Reed. I know. Reed holds her gaze for a moment and then lets her return to her work. Reed and Ellen drink their whiskey in one and slam the glasses on the table. Al and Ellen. Let's drive through the night. We can get to Granada along the back roads. Have some more drinks somewhere else. Or sleep in the car. Frank Sinatra. I thought we were staying here. The hotel looks fine. It has been a long day. Al and Ellen. I don't know where you got that funny way of talking, partner, but you sure ain't from round here. Frank Sinatra. For fuck's sake, Zip, can't we just have a meal and stay in the hotel? This is bollocks. Camera is placed on the bar and continues running. Although we cannot see any of the three, only a continuous shot of the bottles behind the bar. Barmaid walks past and cleans a glass, unaware that she is in shot. Off camera we hear a muffled discussion, though the individual words are hard to make out. Finally, the voices are lowered and we hear an apology from Sinatra. Camera resumes its position. Frank Sinatra, where does a guy have tea gear whiskey around here? Barmaid returns. Cut to. Barmaid just asked cowboy. She pours the drinks. Sinatra takes her hand. Cut to. Frank Sinatra. You can leave that bottle here, sugar. Maybe. I'll want a bit more later. Capis? Barmaid. Cowboys know where the cowgirls are. Honey. Al and Ellen from Barmaid Camera Pov make the three cowgirls then. To go. Cut to. Exterior, a 92 motorway. Night camera focuses on the occupants of the vehicle, now 6, as the speed along the highway. Whiskey flows merrily and the noise is raucous. On the radio we can hear Viva Las Vegas by Elvis Presley. All sing along. Then the track changes to Kenny Rogers, the coward of the county. Tears replace the laughter. Suddenly the car stops and all exit. Cut to. Exterior, field, Gadix, approx 70 km to Granada. Night camera focuses on a fire. The barmaid and two unnamed friends are dancing around the fire. Cut to. Exterior, same field, night. Al and Ellen. Right, cowgirls, it's time to do what you do. Camera from Pov of Ellen focuses on the girls as they begin to strip and then returns to the fire as the off-camera action becomes obvious. Fade out. Exterior, same field, early morning mist is visible as the fire slowly dies out. Camera focuses on Frank Sinatra and a semi-dressed young girl. Young girl. How do I make you feel? Frank Sinatra. So young. Lou Reed off camera. Good work, cowboy. Fade out. Fade in. Exterior, Parador, Granada. Morning camera focuses on the Alhambra, magnificent centerpiece of the former Moorish city of Granada. We see Ellen looking through a blue telescope, looking down on the building. Al and Ellen. I guess the east will be that way. Cut to. Establishing shot. The Alhambra, Granada camera shows the palace from the vantage point of the Mirador at the top of a hill on the outskirts of town. Camera zooms towards the building as the image fades out. Cut to. Exterior, the Alhambra, Granada camera, from behind, shows Ellen, Reed and Sinatra climbing the hill to the entrance. The place is crammed with tourists, but these three fail to notice their presence, too under the muse of the building's splendor. Al and Ellen. O thing of beauty. Crimson castle. Silver. By morning, golden by night. Arabian palace, place of dreams. Former home of the Nasrite emirs, allows into your heart. Lou Reed. Mohammed Allah, creator of dwelling for your offspring till Catholic kings relieved you of it. We salute your work. Frank Sinatra. Reading from pamphlet, Pity the shameful neglect of the 19th century. The glorious work converted into dung heaps and taverns for idle layabouts. The vagabonds that dwelled in these walls should count their fortune as good. For now, we wallow in the mystic place that only dreams can envision. Cut to. Interior, the Alhambra, Granada. The lion's chamber camera focuses on the detail of the chamber, highlighting the variety scene within the chamber. We hear voices commenting on the room, but their knowledge or comments are visibly rebuffed from the defining shot of Ellen, Reed and Sinatra. Cut to. Sinatra camera Pov, Al and Ellen. Oh, harmonious meeting of East and West. Sinatra. Please count the palm trees and make sure there are 124. Lou Reed. I see we have 12 lions as well. All present and correct. Cut to. Exterior, Chamber of Lions. Sinatra running towards camera with a piece of paper. Sinatra clears his throat and prepares to speak. Frank Sinatra. From Dylan Kameralpov, the trees are here. The fountain is a 12-sided affair. The water, so often used as a decorative element, comes to the forefront here. We can see. Alan Dylan interrupting. I'm bored, let's eat. Camera focuses Dylan and Reed leaving Sinatra in mid-sentence as the bemused tourists give him a funny look. He slopes off in the direction of the other two. Cut to. Interior, Hotel Palacio de Santa Paula, Granada. Camera focuses on the splendid interior of the old convent now reformed into a luxury hotel. Dylan, Reed and Sinatra drinks Arabic tea at a table as belly dances glide past. The music is traditional Arabic as well and increases in volume as the dancers congregate around the table, soon followed by the band. All three are looking at a road map. In come the vocals which inform them of the motorway they need to take for the final part of their journey to Malaga. Cut to. Interior, Hotel. Alan Dylan. Tonight then we feast. Tomorrow the final leg of the journey. Cut to. Interior, Hotel. From Dylan Kameralpov, Lou Reed. Decided it is then. We will travel at 6 in the morning. That way we will be able to collect our winged friend from the port of the air. No alcohol, only tea. Cut to. Alan Dylan. More tea. Dylan slams his cup down on the table and more tea is brought to the table. Cut to. Interior, Hotel Palacio Santa Paula. Net camera shows an Arabic banquet from which Dylan, Reed and Sinatra feast. Lamb, couscous and other traditional delicacies are brought to their mouths by the belly dancers. Alan Dylan. It may not be politically correct, but this is our film and we can end it as we please. Lou Reed. How do you evaluate Sinatra? Has he passed the test? Alan Dylan. For me he has failed. His spirit was not up to the job. Moments of adequate performance littered with apathy. Lou Reed. My feelings echo yours. Some form of punishment is required for the final leg. Alan Dylan. This hearty riposte will aid our thoughts. Frank Sinatra. Congratulations, you have made me actually miss Benny. I can't wait to get to Malaga. Fuck the tea. Princess. He gestures to a dancer. Make it one for my baby and one more for the road. She brings him 2 whiskeys. Now that was Sinatra. Alan Dylan. Too little too late. Lou Reed. Like the 1867 Reform Act. Fade out. Cut to. Establishing shot. Buick, driving down a 92 motorway at great speed. Day camera shows Dylan and Reed in the car. A type of fast flamenco fusion makes it impossible to hear what they are saying, though we can tell the conversation is animated. Camera leaves the focus from the two in the car and travels outside the car where we see Sinatra, sat huddled against the cold in a small open trailer connected to the car. Cut to. Signpost on a 92 motorway. Morning camera focuses on signpost, which informs us that there are still 73 km to Malaga. Fade out. Credits, accompanied by brass and kettle drum music. Credits finish. Cut to. Malaga Airport, arrivals terminal, exterior. Day Buick parks erratically at the door of arrivals and Dylan and Reed hastily exit and run inside. Cut to. Malaga Airport, arrivals terminal, interior. Day Reed and Dylan locate their friend Benny, who is talking on a mobile phone and does not seem pleased to see them. Cut to. Dylan Kameralpov. Lou Reed. Hey, we've come to pick you up. Cut to. Reed Kameralpov. Benny, are you still in that road movie? Alan Dylan. Of course, you can be in the last scene. Benny. Fuck that then. We'll get a taxi. Alan Dylan. Wheel. Camera stops and film goes black. For a moment, there is some sound, but that soon goes too. See, to the hotel and towards the change. I didn't cry at all when Gore dropped the camera, and that was the end of that. It had been a hard slog on the road with this idea of a film. Gore thinks that the work can be salvaged, though I wouldn't bother if I were him. Maybe if we were first-year media students you could get away with this type of thing, but at our age. Still, we think it's fine to act like first-year media students every time someone opens a bottle. Strange how maturity is appropriate in certain cases and actively rebuffed when it gets in the way of having fun. We get to the hotel and I run myself a hot bath. After 3 hours in the trailer at morning temperatures I could easily be looking at a nasty bout of the sneezes, Not that that is particularly worrying to Zippy and Gore, who wish to hold a seminar about their road movie this evening. Why didn't I spend a few days in Madrid on my own? It's an hour flight from Alicante and another hour from the capital to the Costa. I could have had 2 days traipsing round the Prado and Reina Sofia and Thyssen at my own pace, avoiding people and preparing myself mentally for the next stage of my life. Maybe in the future I will laugh about this, though I can't see that for a good long while. Tomorrow we are meeting with the funeral director at 10. We are having breakfast together and are then off to meet our new employers. Well, we asked for this, it has been our wish for what seems forever, and now it looks like it is going to come true. As I soak in the bath, I decide that I will do whatever it takes to make a go of this. If that means betrayal, then so be it. As far as I can see, Benny is the only one I would have to betray, and that would not present me with any sleepless nights. Gore will do good work, I am sure of that. Zippy is Zippy. If he gets to 40, then he will get his own conference at a renowned university to discuss his ability to defy science. Therefore, I fear not, rather look forward to the opportunity. For the first time in a long while, I feel at home, strange as I am in a hotel in a city I have yet to see. Meeting the funeral director. We had arranged to meet the funeral director in a central Malagan hotel. Not the one we were staying in, but one that seemed somewhere superior. We took a taxi to the Malaga Tribe Alameda, suited and booted and looking a genuine article. Thankfully most of our attire was more Nigel Havers in linen than Reservoir Dogs, so we didn't look like out-of-place gangsters. Only Gore can really do that gangster look anyway, so we felt on top of our game with smart casual. The funeral director was there waiting for us. He seemed a little older and a lot less powerful than I remember him from years back. When he first appeared at Alan's funeral he cut quite a figure. Now after googling the Marbella crime history, I wonder how he could keep some of these fearful figures at bay. There was small talk for a bit, and then we got down to business. The funeral director gave us a rundown of the roles that they had penciled in for us, which were, in many ways, a continuation of our glory period in Luton. This gave Benny the chance to verify that he is indeed king of the castle, and no one else could do the good work that he does. He dismisses my role as the simple, pointless brain who does nothing more than organize everything so that the idiot with the chiseled chin and a smile can sell the gear to the gullible public. Zippy does not seem to have a clear role in the setup, but then did he in the old days? I doubt it. Gore is required to be nails and strong, something that is always well received in the mobster game. After this we were told that we were to embark on a training program that could feasibly send this text into an interest limbo state. Thankfully the funeral director has revealed that his position in the company may have been exaggerated in order to procure our interest. It appears that the organization is run by two rather nasty types known as Fat Charlie and Rub and Shuffle, and also the last month of our stay in Luton, London and Scotland was monitored by an Italian surveillance expert who will apparently now take over the story until we are considered to be of a sufficient standard to operate on a salary. As a going away present, I will leave you with another snippet from our hilarious Memories of Thievery series, and more balmy adventures by that little Japanese kid. See you in a few chapters.